Travel to fantastical worlds of mountains, forests, and even underwater cities with elves, dragons, and fairies. You can immerse yourself in the tales of enemies, friendships, betrayals, and love, all on a quest for the truth. A local author is taking us there in her Tales of Iryvalya series. The third book in the series, Horizons, is out now, and fresh off her visit to Grand Rapids Comic-Con, we've got Leann Kelley here. She's joining us to talk more about this journey. Leann, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me and allowing me to share my magical world with you.
Absolutely. All right, so let's tell us about this magical world and how this all started and how this came to be.
Well, ever since I was little, I always loved writing. So I would write books off and on, but never finish anything. And when I was living in New Mexico, I actually went to see one of my favorite authors who's from Michigan as well. Her name's Kim Harrison. And when I was in the audience waiting for her to be interviewed by George R.R. Martin, who does Game of Thrones, this story came to me while I'm sitting in the audience waiting. So I took out my BlackBerry. I started writing down as much as I could before they started talking. And then when I got home, I started the research and the process of writing it for me.
Wow. So how long ago was that?
That was a little over 10 years ago.
Okay, and now the release of book 3. So
yes.
let's talk a little bit about this journey. Let's talk about some of the characters and what people will experience if they haven't dipped their toe in yet.
Yes, well, the series is called The Tales of Iryvalya. Yeah. It follows the main character, Nyriv, who is raised in a fairy orphanage, only to find out she's actually an elf. And the reason that was hidden from her is her world is torn apart by 2 rival elf clans, and she descends from both of them. And there had been a prophecy that this child from both clans could be their savior and help unite the world. Well, when she was born, she actually bore the mark of the savior. So her parents knew she had to be hidden away. Otherwise, the clans would either come after her or possibly kill her. So now she is finding out who she is, where she comes from, and trying to decide if she even wants to help her world. And throughout the process in book 1, she meets very unique characters like gargoyles, satyrs, merpeople, and learns more about her world and if and why she should help them. And through her journey into Crossroads, she travels her realms, meets the different clans, the leaders, and learns that not everything is as it seems by those. And throughout it, she also learns that the dragons that have been extinct for centuries are actually just in hiding. And in book 3 is her journey to try to unite her world and also get the dragons to show their support on her side.
Okay, and book 3, you say, is the final one of her story.
Yes, her story.
You're going to continue to share stories about this land and things like that. Do you come up with the whole plan at the beginning? Were you like, this is how it's going to go? Or is this evolving constantly?
It's definitely evolving. When I first wrote the first book, I had an idea of where I wanted it to go, where I wanted her journey to end. But as I wrote and I grew, it changed a little bit. And what I saw is the happy ending shifted a little bit for her. And while she does definitely get a good ending, I want to keep a little bit of surprise throughout it. So I don't want to say too much on it.
Okay.
But
right, yeah.
It's definitely, she definitely gets an ending that I think most people would be happy with.
Okay, good. Yeah, we like that. We like that. And then you're fresh off Comic-Con. Talk about how that was. I love kind of your stories from there.
It was absolutely amazing. We sold more books this time than we have any of the other times. We've been there 4 years. So it is fantastic. I love meeting new fans, and the readers are amazing. We sold a bunch of the set, but my favorite part was we sold probably about 50 copies of just book 3. We had people that came up and they were like, we couldn't wait for this. One lady actually brought me to tears because she was so happy that the book was there, and she had made me a little gift with some earrings that inspired her from reading my books, and it made me feel so good to know that I'm reaching people.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite is I've had a young girl that came to our first Comic-Con, and she came to another one after that, and she told me that I helped her with her dream to write, and she's written a book. And I'm like, I couldn't have asked for better than that.
Yeah.
To help other people enjoy escaping to a fantasy world like I enjoyed doing when I was young.
Yeah, absolutely. And to know that you're inspiring people to follow their dreams as well, right?
Exactly, because it's never too late. I truly did not think I could ever write these books as a child, and then, I had to wait till I got older, but I still could do it. So it's never too late to follow your dreams.
There you go. All right, any sneak preview for what's next?
Yes, the next thing we're going to do is a compendium to go along with the books, and it's going to have all the different creatures and artwork, and we're going to try to get some artwork from local authors, artists, and I want to try and have pictures of the different characters, the dragons and that, so you can understand some of their backstories as well. And also we have, the first book is coming out on audiobook, and we actually found somebody at Comic-Con last year who's local in Grand Rapids that was able to do the voice of Iryvalya, and she is phenomenal. So
how cool.
We're very excited for that coming out soon.
And I love all the local ties. That's wonderful. And there's a glossary too. I did have to hit up the glossary with pronouncers so I knew how to say things.
Yep, in the back of the book there's a glossary with all the names of creatures, people, how it's pronounced, and then also in the front of each book is a map of the world. So you can follow along with the adventure of Nyriv.
I love it. Thank you so much, Leann, for being here. And if people want to get their hands on the first copy, the third copy, where can they find them?
Well, you can find them, all the links through my website, but we also are on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and we also have some books at Schuler's on 28th Street.
Perfect. All right. Well, there you go, LeannKelley.com. And then on all of the socials there, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.